Wait a minute, I'm muted. There we go. We need a new background here. Come on. Something that's not gonna... Alright, that's fine. Bonus stream. I've got the day off, theoretically. Let's put that chat where chat belongs. I think that background's a little noisy. Give it some shade. Oh, it's okay, that's fine. I'll turn down the intensity. So, I haven't done a not serious stream in a while. So here I am. Getting my grind on. A lot of interesting stuff is gonna be happening in this next week. Going to the Global Clean Energy Action Forum. It's a bit of a UN meeting. No big deal. People are always super impressed. I'm like, dude, I just volunteered. I'm not gonna get 100% reimbursed for this anyways, but it is activism. This is getting yourself out there. So we have a mission. That mission is save our climate, and our tools available are nuclear energy. You don't like it? Get mad. That's a little flashy. I don't know about that. That's worse. That's worse. Okay. No, that's worse. That's boring. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, let's turn the rating on that one up. This is pretty cool. No, why do you flash? Like, there's such a thing as photosensitivity. City of Shadows. Why? Why do you gotta flash? I really like this other than the flashing. Okay. Liquid Dragon, that's a 5. Do I need a beer? Do I actually need to relax? Let's find out. No, not really. I could use a Red Bull, maybe. Incredible! I still have free Red Bulls from PAX. Free Red Bull. That's what you get for volunteering. You get the material that will end your life someday. This area is too busy. Let's go here. And I'm going to check how much more I need to get. Probably not very much. Oh yeah, that was it. And the ticketed completion is 21 million to go. Nope, a lot more. 80 million to go. Oh boy. Did I forget to scroll lock? I did. There we are, back at Liquid Dragon. These headphones are a little uncomfortable on headphones. I'm gonna have to, when I go to choose, oh no, that's right, I'm gonna use my old frames for my progressives. That music way too loud. How about that? Yeah, it's a bit better. Oh, I just relocated. Oh, he's not cracked, is he? No, he's not cracked. My Sally could do a lot of damage to this, though. That sarcophagus is garbage. Ooh, level 42. Here we go. Level 13 on that one. But I'm very excited about getting levels, pushing levels on my Saladin. That's like the mainstay of PvP in this game. And my next level PvP ship is, it's gonna be Romulan, yeah, oh no, not Romulan, Klingon. It's gonna be the Brel, Grade 3 Rare Explorer. And then, after that is the Augur. Really big PvP ship. My internet was shit yesterday, and honestly that's the #1 reason that I'm streaming, because my internet was such shit. I did a few things. I forced my Ethernet to 100 megabit, so no half plugged in garbage anymore. It is either plugged in all the way and working, or it is not. But somehow I was on 10 megabit, and when I'm on 10 megabit Ethernet, my audio monitoring, that's this thing right here, the V-band is the audio monitoring, that completely saturates my NIC in 10 megabit mode. So can't have that. I know it's been a while since I streamed, so... Oh, we got someone showing up. Glad to see you. I was just worried that I had lost my entire audience in my job change. But, yeah, so I quit my job. I'm no longer a game developer for wargaming. I'm now producing shows for some big people. And some small people. Some small people you definitely need to check out. So definitely check out Progressive Victory here on Twitch. And I'm going to be running a stream for them later tonight. The Transcell Squad. That's cancel, like the cancel squad for trans people. Gonna cancel trans hate. And the stuff that we're doing is talking with Riverboat Jack. Wonderful success of a solo streaming career there, and what she's doing is really great with Progressive Victory. So absolutely love that Progressive Victory have given me a small contract to help them with production, to help them with tech leadership and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna, you know, it's one of those things that has really made the job transition possible, that I'm not relying on a single client. And so it's really cool to have multiple clients and not freak out every time your main client stops answering your call. And in the meantime, I am grinding on Star Trek to make sure that my internet is solid. And so far, I have 0 drop frames. What is up with that? Because yesterday, I was streaming for Washington State Democrats, and it was garbage. But here we are. This stream is solid. Exciting stuff coming up. I have a energy policy panel on September 29th. And our good friend Aiko Rich is going to be running that, and great people participating like Econoboy, Synthe, or Synth, not Cynthiad, not, you know, Danny the Cynthiad, but Synth, who I was supposed to argue with about nuclear a while ago, Tiberius, Beckett, a couple other people. It's going to be great. It sounds like the panel that I've been waiting to have for a while. So exciting stuff. I always go into these things thinking the anti-nuclear opposition is going to be really impressive and I'm going to have to step up my game, and then it's like, oh, well, what was that? What was that? You got nothing! You got nothing, man! Also going to TwitchCon. TwitchCon. Be there. Come to the ping.gg booth. Happy that ping.gg has involved me in their project, and I've been happy to test it. I've been happy to work on some ideas, and maybe I'll even write some code for them someday. Ping.gg. The best way to include video of your remote participants in a stream. I know I do a lot of Zoom, and that's because the user flow for, you know, the normies is not quite there. But someday, and I am definitely going to be part of this transformation of making a a workflow that works for the normies. So obviously the day job is going to help with that. I'm doing call ops and game ops for a bunch of streamers and as well as a bunch of normies. You know, normies doing interviews, streamers who surprisingly don't always know how their stream works. I thought this streaming thing was all about the technical, but no, it's not. It's all about the performance. It absolutely doesn't matter how awesome you are at technical stuff, but it helps. It opens up a lot of doors, and it certainly has for me. So I hope y'all are doing well. This could be a short stream. It's going to be short and sweet. I'm doing announcements. I'm grinding on Star Trek. I'm listening to some tunes, and I'm making sure that my system doesn't fall on its ass for my paid stream later tonight. How's my background removal? I haven't plugged in my green screen yet, so you get the NVIDIA experience. It's not quite perfect, but it's good enough. I'm really excited for OBS 28. I actually have a package that I'm using for my professional streams, and so OBS 28.0.1 looking really good. I only had a few crashes, a few bugs in 28 RC2, but it's going to be even better. Speaking of which, let me check my calendar. We are coming up on a 1 hour countdown to the Transcell Squad stream. I might even raid into them. Won't that be weird? Raiding into yourself? No. If I only have one viewer, it doesn't matter, and I need to get prepared. So I may be ending stream pretty soon here. Did I set my title? I think I did. Let's browse Twitch and see what's going on Twitch. Who do we got? Weird people on front page. Dr. Neuro is chatting. I should say hi to Dr. Neuro. You know what? We need to turn off this music and react to the American Johnson takedown, absolute takedown of the patriotic socialists. So let's do that. I'll put my game in the corner. Non-compete, that's what I'm looking for. I'll do that on my right monitor. And watch this. There it is. So where should I put my game? I'm going to bump myself up from 3 to 1. Yeah. And then 3 is going to be... Nope. There we go. Yeah. Soy. And I'm going to turn down the game sounds. And turn off the music. Bye-bye music.
This video is going to be pretty... Warning. This video is going to be pretty rough. I'm going to be talking about some really lousy people, so content warning for bigotry, fascism, and just general skeeziness. Also, the people I'm going to be talking about here are famous for targeted harassment, doxing, and other destructive tactics against their enemies, so I'm begging you, please do not harass anyone that I mention in this video, really. Please. Hello and welcome to the ancient and beautiful Temple of Literature, one of my favorite places in Hanoi. Formerly the National University of Vietnam, the Temple of Literature is now a public shrine to knowledge, education, and wisdom. And if you want to learn more about the Temple of Literature, highly recommend you check out my partner Luna's channel, Luna Oi. She gives a full tour of this amazing place. Really is just gorgeous. So go check that out. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. But the reason that I'm here today is I thought that this would be a fitting setting for today's topic, the search for truth in the face of distorted facts, false narratives, and outright lies. Specifically, we'll be discussing the lies of a group of grifters who call themselves American Patriot Socialists and who drape themselves in American flags, hang out with TERFs.
This transgender ideology is pure idealism. It says, if I feel something, it's true. We've all got our own reality.
And every once in a while, get caught driving young women into poverty, forcing them into a cult, and then sexually abusing them. It's going to be a wild ride, so buckle in. I don't want to talk about this shit, but I think things are coming to a head, and it's time we address these people. Look at the dragonfly on my shoulder. Hello. We have been blessed by a dragonfly here at the Temple of Literature. I guess he's just going to hang out there. Okay, that's fine with me. So the American Patriot Socialists worship crypto-fascist figures like Lyndon LaRouche and Nick Land.
This is kind of what defines the nature of my patriotism intellectually and theoretically. I gave it to you, right? You don't have to talk about LaRouche and Dugan and, you know, Nick Land. I mean, those people all influence me.
And if you aren't familiar with those names, count yourself lucky. Lyndon LaRouche was a fascist who did hideous mind control experiments under the alias Lynn Marcus. Really nasty stuff. There's a lot more to LaRouche and his devious ideology, which started sort of leftist, but has really gone far right through his life. He's gone now. We still got that dragonfly. Oh, there he goes. LaRouche is an ugly dude. Fortunately, no longer with us. As for Nick Land, he is another neo-fascist. He's a guy who developed much of the quote-unquote dark enlightenment philosophy, which underpins the alt-right movement and which seeks to accelerate capitalism towards fascism. Land believes some really weird shit. For instance, that races should be separated under the belief that elites will enhance their IQs by associating only with each other. Alexander Dugin is another figure that the Ampat Sox are obsessed with. He's a Russian fascist and ultranationalist who was a staunch anti-communist in the 1980s Soviet Union and founder of the National Bolshevik Party, so, like, literally one of the OG Nazbols. Now, has attempted some pretty impressive rhetorical backflips to make it sound like Dugin's fascism is the real socialism.
The only reason Dugan is trying to search for some authentic, ideal kernel within fascism against its actual historical manifestation is because, in his view, at this time, to quote, there are, in the 20th century, only 3 ideologies that have managed to demonstrate that their principles are realistic in terms of their political implementation: liberalism, communism, and fascism. Others are absent and are impossible. In Russia, we have passed the 2 ideological stages, communist and liberal. What remains is fascism. So he's just using the word fascism to describe something that's neither the Soviet version of communism nor Western liberalism. And if you actually read the text, that word has nothing to do with its actual real historical reality. Something he pretty much acknowledges even in that piece. Dugin is using this word as a stand-in for the ideal of a socialism that, to quote, will be more rural than proletarian, more communal than cooperative, than administrative, more regionalistic than centralistic. All of these are requirements of Russian national specificity, which will find its expression in the doctrine and not only in practice.
Of course, this isn't new at all. In fact, this is exactly how Michael Parenti defines fascism in his outstanding book, Black Shirts and Reds. Parenti notes that the essential defining characteristic of fascism is the staging of a pseudo-revolution, which mimics many of the trappings and aesthetics of socialist revolution without actually threatening capitalism. Mussolini and Hitler both tried to appeal to the working class by using popular socialist symbols and language. As Parenti writes, the Nazi Party's full name was the National Socialist German Workers' Party, a left-sounding name.
And pause it. I mean, that's basically what we see. We see these, these quote-unquote left people, and they're focusing on the vibe. They're focusing on the appearance, or the what do you call it? The trappings of the things that appeal to the working class. And right here, Americans describing how from the start, it is all calculated. It's all a put on in order to appeal to the working class.
The Italian fascists and the Nazis made a conscious effort to steal the left's thunder. There were mass mobilizations, youth organizations, work brigades, rallies, parades, banners, symbols, and slogans. There was much talk about a Nazi revolution that would revitalize society, sweeping away the old order and building the new. Of course, these are all false promises, as Parenti explains. Fascism is a false revolution. It cultivates the appearance of popular politics and a revolutionary aura without offering a genuine revolutionary class content. It propagates a new order while serving the same old moneyed interests. Its leaders are not guilty of confusion, but of deception. That they work hard to mislead the public does not mean that they themselves are misled. And this is exactly what Haas is doing here, as he presents the obvious fascist ideology of Dugin and then tries to stuff it into a communism-shaped costume. No, guys, seriously, he's just using the word fascism, but he really means communism. Give me a break. And if you look at Dugin's defining characteristics of fascism in his own definition, which insists is really just a stand-in for socialism, you'll see that none of these characteristics, being rural, being communal, being regionalistic, are incompatible with fascism. In fact, these are all principles which fascists constantly push since the beginning. The Nazis idolized ruralism. They presented themselves as communal, and they were super regionalistic in how they defined Aryan culture, after all. But what's expressly lacking from Dugin's ideology is class character. I mean, Dugin says specifically that his fascism is not proletarian in nature. It's right there on the fucking screen on Haz's stream. It is not rooted in the working class. It does not have a proletarian nature. This is not Marxism. Dugin does not call for the elimination of capitalism. He does not call for the uniting of the working class. So in what way is this socialism or communism? It's not. It's just fascism. And Haz is using a lot of cheap rhetorical tricks here to try to rebrand and dress up fascism as communism, which is what fascists always do. And this is actually a really pathetic attempt at doing this if you pay any attention to what Haz is actually saying here. It's remarkable that anyone buys this shit at all. And the American Patriot Socialists are enamored with Nick Land and Lyndon LaRouche. You will see them being name-dropped and referenced all over the place if you check out the villainous hive mind of the American Patriot Socialists on Twitter or YouTube. And prominent American Patriot Socialist thought leaders have name-dropped them on many occasions.
I accuse communism and liberalism to be racist. In the same time, not biological, but cultural, or I think that universalism is a kind of race.
What does LaRouche, Dugin, Nick Land, and, I guess whatever fascist boogeyman they make up, what do all of these things have in common?
Too much?
Why are Marxists so insecure in Marxism?
Am I getting in trouble for watching this?
Every time someone is stepping outside of the bounds of institutional Marxism, there's some secret nefarious, ideal core.
Do I need to cover up his face?
This person that's some kind of secret.
I feel like I need to cover up his face.
I'm telling you what I am. I'm telling you where I'm coming from. The thinking spirit, our minds, our soul, even I would say, is striving and longing for a sense of meaning that is worthy of that universal state. What is the universal truth of history? What is the universal truth of being? There you can get Heidegger, who asked the question of being. That's just one variant, right? What is the truth of
Come
universal
on,
history?
dude.
And
I
its striving?
can't
That's how
have
Putin
infrared on
reconciled
very much. I
Hegel
need
and
to.
Heidegger, because that's
Okay.
Hegel.
Okay, come on. We got to fix this now. We got to put up some kind of a graphic over top. Is this going to work? I don't care how good it is right now, but I just need to not get my stream taken down for freaking no-name Haas. I thought it would be talking about this and providing examples, but no, it's like enormous clown-faced okay. There we go.
Hegel, the teleology of history, right? That's what Hegel's dealing with. The development of spirit. Where does that culminate to? Thank you, Dimitri.
American leftists are extremely ideologically insecure, so they have to take everything outside of their institutional politics to some absurd extreme.
Yeah, you're right, Dimitri. Thank you. Thank you all. That is solid. Appreciate you. In this universal state, we are inherently disposed. We are inherently longing for an equally universal sense of meaning that permeates across the whole of history. We want an explanation for what history was. Now, people say, well, Haas, what about Marxism, which describes the class struggle? We have achieved the end of history. We are living in a post-historical world. But the class struggle is an abstraction. It's not a determinate, like, meta-historical narrative underpinning the whole of history. It's not an ontological understanding. It's not encompassing in its universality in terms of the universal state. It belongs to... The class struggle doesn't really give us any meaning. See, all history being a history of class struggle...
You want a background on the chat? Oh, I can do that. Sorry, I thought it... I guess I misunderstood a little bit, but... let's put a... Don't I have a filter on this? Oh, okay. You're all right? Okay, good. There's sort of like you could... Okay, great. I won't worry about it then. Let's keep going.
Doesn't make history meaningful. It doesn't. So I'll begin with LaRouche. So LaRouche has his idea of the oligarchic principle and the republican principle. And this takes the form of expression and thought of Aristotle versus Plato for LaRouche. And these two tendencies have been struggling with one another across the whole fabric of history. And guess what? LaRouche is right. That pattern is there. That is a very observable pattern, right? The way in which the oligarchic tendency versus the kind of republican, or let's call it the principle of the emperor / the republic
Aristotle
versus the oligarchy. Yeah, that's a very clear pattern in history. It is, okay? So he's onto something there. Also, with Aristotle versus Plato, he's also on
Aristotle.
LaRouche LaRouche has a very coherent, universal, all-encompassing worldview. It's not nonsense. It's not schizo.
Okay, let's go back
just a
sec.
cult or whatever. It's not. Also, LaRouche has a very coherent, universal, all-encompassing worldview. It's not nonsense. It's not schizo nonsense. It's not some cult or whatever where people just believe in it because of his authority. No, he has a...
What? This quote. What?
very coherent worldview.
The wannabe cult leaders of the AMPATSOC movement have recently launched the most cringe psyop I've seen on the internet, and that's really saying something, in the form of what they call MAGA communism. Basically, they're making the case that Marxists should unite with MAGA fascists to overthrow the elite globalists, as they say. And boy howdy, if you don't hear the anti-Semitic dog whistle, perhaps you should clean out your dog ears. Or maybe you just live a normal life and you don't spend your time digging through fascist spaces on the internet like I do, in which case I envy you. But anyway, that's definitely an anti-Semitic dog whistle, especially the way it's being used and the concepts it's being used in conjunction with. Definitely an anti-Semitic dog whistle. That's what they're doing. They're saying socialists should team up with fascists to get rid of the Jews. It's very very disgusting. Of course,
Ew.
they give themselves just enough plausible deniability to skirt the issue if they're ever pressed on it. But come the fuck on. We all know who they mean when they say elite globalists. I mean, just look at this clip in which LA Looks enthusiast Jackson Hinkle tries to defend his incessant use of the term.
Globalism embodies the, one world sentiment of, and it actually kind of relates back to this whole patriotic socialism debate. It refers to the idea of like one world centralization of all energy markets, of all,
Why does it matter if it's centralized or distributed? I mean, we should have a global egalitarian society. It doesn't mean that someone needs to control it. But for real, my dude, your protectionism is showing here.
national boundaries, erasing national boundaries, erasing peoples, erasing histories, and kind of bringing it all under one Western cohesion. And that's what the US is trying to do. That's what the EU is. That's what NATO is. That's what the World Economic Forum and Davos is. It is kind of a catch-all word for, all of these sorts of things, whatever you want to call it. There's different aspects of it.
Globalism, that means different things to different people. That's why right-wingers use it, because they're like, we're going to fight the
You can criticize Davos without going, the globalist. You could just say, look, this is capitalism. This is capitalism controlling the dialogue. You don't need to mauld about freaking globalists. You can just accept that, yes, capitalism is part of every society, and yes, it has a foothold in our global influence peddlers. It doesn't mean that globalism itself is a bad thing. God, what? Yeah.
The globalists, even though they're an imperialist, they could be imperialists, they can be capitalists, but they go on Fox News like, we got to fight the globalists, because some people that means shutting down the border. Some people mean, that means we got to be isolationists. Some people mean that mean fighting anti-imperialism. So it kind of give off the impression that you don't want that. Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I don't think it's vague at all. I think that using terms, and a specific term that you could use that rises above capitalism, for example, is techno-feudalism. Now, that's a phrase that is embodied within globalism, and I think is representative of the term globalism. I think that's fair. And it is different than just capitalism. And again, you hear any of...
Okay. I gotta know now, is this dumbass banned from Twitch? I've been gone for too long. I need to know, is that dumbass banned from Twitch? Because I can't put him on screen for too long. Let's go to Twitter. Oh no, twitch.tv. Jackson Hinkle. Oh no, violation of TOS. Well, okay, here we keep going then.
If these people, any of these leftist intellectuals discuss techno-feudalism, it is encompassing all of the issues that we refer to as globalism. But the average American, the average person, is not going to be able to understand nor resonate with the term techno-feudalism. If you say that we need to fight against techno-feudalism, that in all honesty is more vague and ambiguous to most people in the country than, say, fighting against globalism. Globalism is a far more culturally relevant term than saying techno-feudalism. So I think if you want to have high-level conversations that are going to be out of touch for the masses of the country, then sure, refer to it in the very, very, very specific out of touch phrases and terms that you want to refer to it in, but it's not going to resonate with anyone. And on my program, I try to resonate with as many people as possible and expose what's really going on with the globalists.
What the F is Hinks and Jackal talking about? If you are a Marxist and your problem is with capitalists and capitalism, then just say that the problem is capitalists and capitalism.
Right?
The hell makes you think that the word globalist is going to resonate with the normal people of the USA? Normal people don't talk like that. They don't go around complaining about those globalist elites, and they don't drop Nazi dog whistles all the time. The only person I've ever heard talk like that in real life is my racist uncle after guzzling a handle of Fireball at Thanksgiving.
And notice the rhetorical trickery here. The interviewer, Nick, asks him why he doesn't just talk about capitalism, why he has to use the word globalism. Then Hinkle himself introduces this phrase, techno-feudalism, and then he uses this to deflect from Nick's actual question, which is why he doesn't use the word capitalism, and he does use the word globalism. That was the original question. And it's just a complete dodge of the question. And then, basically Hinkle just argues with himself for a few seconds.
So wait a minute. Okay, I got it. This is significant. So maybe we'll do a one camera shot of we'll do a one cam to talk about this. Jackson Hinkle is quite possibly a Russian influence peddler. if not directly, an order of degrees separated. Like, he literally worked for anti-nuclear organizations in a NIMBY, a NIMBY pseudo-ecological front trying to shut down San Onofre. And eventually, a contractor fucked that plan up so bad that they gave up. Now, I'm sure he was well rewarded by that, Friends of the Earth associated organization for the takedown of San Onofre, even though they didn't really have to do anything. It just sort of, oops, we shipped you a bad steam generator and it's got a vibrational problem, and well, you've set up the political landscape such that it's not really viable to keep that online. We can do without it. It's too expensive to ask for your money back when something like that breaks. Oh, we can't ask for a money back when the steam generator breaks. We'll just let the environmentalists have this W. That's what we'll do. Anyways, this is Haxon Stinkle's legacy, being an anti-nuclear candidate. That's just a sec. This guy was an anti-nuclear candidate, anti-nuclear organizer. And I'm pretty sure he's banned on Twitch. So I hope that American moves on from this guy's statements, but he has to prove the point that they're actually not real leftists, and they have the temerity to call other people synthetic left.
Yeah, I don't think it's vague at all. I think that using terms, and a specific term that you could use that rises above capitalism, for example, is techno-feudalism. Now, that's a phrase that is embodied within globalism, and I think is representative of the term globalism. I think that's fair, and it is different than just capitalism.
If you want to talk about the specific stage of capitalism we're currently in,
wait. So it's different than, like, capitalism isn't bad? Like, capitalism is sometimes good, you supposed patriotic socialist? Okay, I'm confused now.
prevailing form of capitalism, which relies on global imperialism to eradicate indigenous cultures, enforce social agendas through free market mechanisms. Just say neoliberalism. We already have a fucking word for that. It's a perfectly fine word that doesn't make people think you're a freaking anti-Semite. There's no reason to insist on using these fucking dog whistles unless you're trying to dog whistle.
Old Stinkhole even had a nice cozy chat with great replacement theory advocate Tucker Carlson to trash anti-fascism.
His handlers and his cronies are prepping the CIA, the FBI, Antifa, the IRS, and now Ministry of Truth to attack freedom-loving Americans.
And of course, he managed to squeeze off a nice little anti-Semitic dog whistle while he was there. The Great Reset, you know, the Nazi conspiracy theory about how Jew George Soros and the Jewish World Economic Forum are controlling all the governments of the world along with all the other Jews.
Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, and Joe Biden are controlled by the same exact people. They're controlled by individuals like George Soros and controlled by people like Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum, and they're going to do whatever they want.
Okay, here's another rabbit hole that's pretty deep. I'm not going to go into it completely. You can do your own research if you want. There is a shitty program called the Great Reset that's been put forth by the World Economic Forum. Again, that's the shitty neoliberal organization that I'm not defending. Basically, the Great Reset is just a par-for-the-course neoliberal agenda for achieving social goals through free market mechanisms. You know, run-of-the-mill neoliberalism. If you want a better idea of what I'm talking about, I recommend John the Duncan's video on authoritarian neoliberalism. But anyway, there's nothing good about the Great Reset. It's not cool, but there's nothing that remarkable about it either. It's just yet another shitty neolib think tank white paper. It sucks. I'm not in favor of it. It's capitalist trash. End of story, right? Well, fascists have transformed it into the Great Reset conspiracy theory. And of course, they've turned it into an unhinged anti-Semitic fever dream of Nazi panic and fabrication. In the Great Reset conspiracy theory, Jewish globalist elites are using COVID-19 and other crises to institute a new world order, which includes, wait for it, ending capitalism. That's right. Ending capitalism. That's right. The Great Reset conspiracy theory that Hinkle is pushing is a MAGA fascist doomsday scenario in which Jewish people force communism on the world. It's an anti-communist conspiracy theory because MAGATs are anti-communist. The notion of allying with MAGATs is fucking ridiculous. And by the way, the Great Reset conspiracy theory is always packaged with references specifically to George Soros and the World Economic Forum. All of these semiotic markers coming together on Tucker Carlson's platform constitutes much more than a mere dog whistle. It's a goddamn blue whale whistle. This is why Nazbol ideology is so wacky and fucked up, because they smash together completely conflicting worldviews in the most self-contradictory way possible.
There's a word for you. Nazbol. That is Nazi/Bolshevik. And that is the idea that you can have a fascist allegiance with a proto-Soviet communist regime. And that's where the original term was we have Bolsheviks, and the Bolsheviks got in bed with the Nazis, and that's what these Nazbol parties were about. Super crazy.
In the name of some weird fucking demagogic bullshit, cynical grift.
These dudes are trotting out some heinous Nazi rhetoric right before everyone's eyes, but they have the mask pulled on just tightly enough that they can tap dance away from anyone who calls them out with a coy little, oh shucks, I don't know what you're talking about. And
Whoa, I should have checked the length of this. Oh my God, it is an hour-long video, and even at 1.25, which is as fast as I want to make you watch through it, it is going to take longer than I have. So here's what's going on. It is 3:07. My stream is stable, thankfully. I am going to load up my assets for my paid stream. That's going to be on Progressive Victory. So I'm helping out this. I'm helping out these people. We are collecting a bunch of streamers, and I'm going to make sure that my side of the stream at least goes off without a hitch, and I have a recorded backup just in case. And all the assets and all the branding is there, and maybe some lower thirds. I've been working hard on H2R graphics and getting that themed and laid out so that it looks ultra professional, or as good as you can get with the limited resources and limited graphical resources. And so I'm just going to be minding the stream for that. So that's my first announcement. Paid stream opportunity for me at Progressive Victory. Thank you for helping me make my job transition. The number 2 announcement, I will be at the Global Clean Energy Action Forum. And what this is a UN meeting. It is the Clean Energy Ministerial, so CEM/MI, that's Mission Innovation. And we are going to be talking to people about nuclear energy. And yes, September 21st, that is next week. So September 20th or so, we've got a party. The 21st, 21st is, we've got a party. 22nd, we've got a side event. And this is going to be super, super great. I get to talk about Seattle Friends of Fission and all the great work that we've done, and play a little bit of games with the other amazing people that are going to be on stage with me. So this is the next thing to pay attention to. And let me move my cameras around here. Woo! Duplicates. Then after that, we've got the Thorium Energy Alliance conference. That is, Friends of Fission Northwest. I should talk about that. We have renamed Seattle Friends of Fission to Friends of Fission Northwest. And so now I need to do a few other things just to clean up the social media presence and finish that rebrand. But yeah, we're an official nonprofit in the state of Washington. We're going to be a nonprofit with the IRS, and we'll be able to take your donations this Giving Thursday. Yeah, we are expanding. We are doing more than only the Seattle area. We're all around the Pacific Northwest. A lot of good people, not just in Seattle. So we started in Seattle, and we are moving on. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, Thorium Energy Alliance Conference. I will be the opening speaker on the first day of the conference. So you can talk to John Kutch about registering. I think that registration is full. So I will be speaking on the 13th, and I think I will be helping put on some kind of a live stream. So I've got a handful of cameras. Literally a handful of like security cameras so I can have for B shots. I'm going to be hooking up with Gordon McDowell's main camera for the main shot, and we will have everything you need to be able to enjoy Thorium Energy Alliance conference remotely. Not a big announcement, but yeah, we are headed towards that. So, yeah, please reach out to the folks if you try to register and you get registration full. Looks like it's still available. I'm going to be talking again about Friends of Fission Northwest and all the wonderful things that we've been doing. I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my history in nuclear, my history in how I came to support nuclear, and how, I almost worked in the nuclear industry, but hey, I wanted to do this thing called video games. It looked like a lot of fun, and it was, but it could be better. It could be saving the world, but that's what I do for fun now, right? And I could work on saving the world and play video games for fun, but instead I work in video games and entertainment, and for fun, I try to save the world. Absolutely, I'm going to meet up with Gordon. It is great to see Gordon. I saw him at TA 10, and it was really good to meet him, and I'm happy to support what he's doing. He's going to, of course, be archiving and recording the entire presentation stack at TEAC 11. So, what else is next? Progressive Victory, and then Global Clean Energy Action Forum, that's CEMMI, renamed. UN people, I hear Bill Gates is going to be in the room at some point, so that'll be amazing. No pressure, Carl. And then TwitchCon. I'm going to TwitchCon. That's the week before Thorium Energy Alliance Conference. So send me a note on Discord or Twitter if you want to get in touch if you're at TwitchCon. And then Thorium Energy Alliance Conference. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do game ops, call ops, maybe technical director, maybe director of a few shows. I'm still working my way up through the ranks here, doing live production, doing technology and tech troubleshooting for live shows at some of the biggest clients on Twitch, if you know what I mean. So that's been super, super great. And now I do have enough people that I need to raid just to be nice to the Twitch community. Where do we want to go? I see Death of Certainty. Let's raid Death of Certainty. You can tell him you all love nuclear energy, because of course you do. So thank you all for stopping by. If you're streaming, go break a leg. I'm certainly going to try. I thank you for letting me test out my stream on you. Everything seems to be going all right. So enjoy.